Well, I've got a checkout inspection. Haven't been into this flat now for quite a long time. Generally speaking, the turnover of this flat is low because it's such a nice property. So come on in. Now, why is it flat 0? It's flat 0 because we don't have a 13. We go straight from 12 to 14. So just, you know, flat 13s are very hard to rent out, believe it or not. So come on in. There's nobody here, they have moved out. And this was one of the first refurbishments that we did in this particular block. So what am I looking for? Well, it's a checkout inspection. So I'm looking for anything that's been damaged. I'm looking for anything that potentially we might need to hold the deposit back for. Has that come off the wall or has it not been put on? I don't think it's been put on. Just seems to be hung off the two on the top, that's odd. I think the tenants put that on themselves and they've just put the 2 screws in the top. That's not our mirror, so something they put on. Right, so first impressions, I'm walking in. Smells fresh, well, fresh enough. It doesn't smell of cigarettes or anything else for that matter. We've got the bedroom and the first room on the left as you come in. Now this all Achille wallpaper was all the rage when we did this. I don't know what you think of it now. Perhaps it's gone a little bit dated over the years, but it is actually all Achille wallpaper, but it's ripped. So there's a rip there. So someone's probably had a picture or something on there with blue tack and they've probably pulled it off and ripped it off. That's just wear and tear. Won't be holding any deposit back for that. Carpet looks fresh and clean, no stains. The walls look fresh, but the walls will be wear and tear anyway. Yeah, that's all good. It looks nice and fresh. Come on through. And then this is like the living area / kitchen. It's spotless. I mean, fair play to the tenant that was living here. Smells fresh. There's no evidence of any black mold or anything in here. Why? Because we've got this, look. This is called an EnviroVent, a PIV, positive input ventilation system. What it does is it draws air around the flat from outside, heats it to room temperature, and stops any condensation, build up, any black mold and all of that. So they're about £1,000 each. I'll do a separate video on that a little bit for you. So looking around the kitchen, everything looks nice and tidy. We've got a little bit of, I don't know why that's happened there. Look, the washing machine seems to have gone rusty on the bottom, which is a bit odd, unless it's been leaking. So we have got there's a rip here in the lino, but that could have been caused by us moving things around. So that'll be down to wear and tear. Cupboards, clean and tidy. Clean and tidy, yeah. Oven, looks tidy enough, doesn't it? Spotlessly clean oven, look. Another absolute spotlessly clean oven. You can't ask for more than that. I always worry about opening fridges, but I know there's not going to be anything in here because it's clean. Look at that, spotless. Really good order. I mean, when tenants leave properties like this, then it makes it all worthwhile. Now, it looks like we may have had a leak upstairs at some point. I don't know about that. Was that ever reported? Do you know about that? Because there's a little bit of staining there. It doesn't look wet, but it looks like at some point there may have been a leak. I think we might need to investigate that. We've got a little bit of peeling on the paint here, so that just needs touching up. We can do that. That's just wear and tear. And I'm not sure what's going on here. There seems to be a little bit of rust coming through, so maybe there's a metal piece on the corner on the chimney breast. But again, wear and tear, so that's not a massive problem. And then we've got the shower room. Now, notoriously, this shower room used to get really bad black mold. So what we did is we installed this humidifier expel vent, and it comes on in the event of any moisture. So it comes on automatically. So the tenant can't turn it on or off. It's on pretty much most of the time. And there's no black mold in here at all. It is spotless clean, which is really nice. And then of course we've got the shower, which is spotlessly clean. I'm really impressed. This is ready to go straight away. Absolutely, you know, it's a lovely flat. So it's a ground floor. You've got the patio doors that lead on to, let's have a look, see if we can get out of these. Have I got the right key? Is it one of those? Yeah. So in the summer, you've got these patio doors here, look, that come straight out onto the beautiful, huge back garden. how nice is this flat? So, what does this go for? I will have to check, because I'm not entirely sure. So I'll have to check with the property team. But this is available now. It will go probably within the next week or so, because it's a very popular flat. And, well, it's a studio, isn't it, really? So let me know what you think in the comments. But in terms of deposit, absolutely 100% of the deposit will be going back to this tenant. It's a lovely flat. They've left it absolutely perfect. And it's literally just ready to go. So let me know what you think. What do you think it's worth? Interested in your thoughts. One of the problems with old buildings, especially this one we're in now, this is an old listed building, can be the lack of insulation and the way that the building was put together when it was first constructed, which can, certainly in this property, cause issues with condensation and black mould. So how do we deal with that? How do I deal with that in properties like this? So this property is a ground floor property, and before I sorted it out, we used to have literally condensation all dripping down the windows here. It used to get that bad that the tenant would report that their cereal boxes in the cupboard were wet through. I mean, it was really bad. So then that started to happen. Black mould started to appear. Black mould started to appear in the shower room and in the bathroom here. And black mould started to appear in the bedroom, which is over here, and the hallway. So you can see now, there's no black mould at all. There's no condensation. There's no dripping down the windows. How? How did we fix it? We did two things. So the first thing we did was install this device here. Now this is called an EnviroVent, and it's called a PIV, a positive input ventilation system. What is it? Well, if you can see here, excuse me, you've got a pipe that comes out of the wall and goes to the external wall facing the garden. What this system does is it draws air in from outside, it heats it up, and then it pushes it around the room. So there's a constant movement of air in the flat all of the time, and it's fresh. Now, even if you've got the doors closed, yes, the fire doors are open at the moment because there's no one living in here. So it pushes it underneath the doors, and it pushes it around the whole flat. So it constantly changes the airflow, and it takes away the condensation and eradicates the black mould. Now, since we had this installed 2 years ago, we've not had one black mould issue in this flat at all. So it's absolutely fantastic piece of kit. Now, there are lots of different makes of these. This is EnviroVent, it's not a sponsored video. This cost £900 fitted, including VAT. What about the noise? How much does it cost to run? It costs to run about the same as a 40-watt light bulb would cost if it was switched on all day. But this is run back to the landlord's supply, so I pay for it, so it doesn't cost the tenant anything at all. Now, how noisy is it? Let me get my microphone and I'll try and see if you can hear it. It sounds like a fridge running. So it's almost silent. And it just goes into the background noise, you can't hear it. So it's a perfect piece of kit. Now, coupled with this here. So this is, I think it's called, I've checked, but I think it's called a cyclone. So we don't just put normal expel air fans in our shower rooms anymore. You know, the ones that have got the little pull and it goes, they're rubbish. You might as well just get a piece of paper and waft. This is quite expensive. It's about £275 per unit, but it works on humidity. So if that detects any humidity at all, it starts to pull all the air out of the bathroom and outside as well. So between that and the EnviroVent, we've eradicated the black mould. Now these, if you live in a house, they can go in the loft. So if you're worried about having them sort of on display like that, they can sit in the loft and it can still do exactly the same thing. There's lots of different makes and models. Check them out. It's on the internet, called EnviroVent. I fully recommend them, honestly. And it's 2 flats here, we've got these in, and it's eradicated the black mould completely.